The demo was accurate. The case studies looked relevant. The integration timeline was 8 weeks. 14 months later, the platform was live. For one use case, in one business unit, so heavily customized it bore almost no resemblance to the product that had been purchased. The license fee had run throughout. The decision was not wrong because of the vendor. It was wrong because it was made on the wrong question. The question was, which option costs less to start? That is almost never the right question in AI build versus buy decision. I am Hari from Do Systems. We build and implement AI systems for businesses, and we have this conversation build or buy with almost every client before a project starts. Today, I want to walk you through the 4 questions that actually determine the right answer. Software tool decisions are relatively forgiving. If a product does not work, you switch. AI engagements carry a significantly higher switching cost because the system is embedded in your data and the processes. A poor build versus buy decision costs not just the fee, but the rebuild cost of the starting again with the alternative approach. Gartner's May 2025 survey of over 500 CIOs found that 72% of the organizations are breaking even or losing money on their AI investments. That figure spans both build and buy decisions. It reflects a systematic problem with these decisions evaluated, not a failure of any particular approach. And Gartner's April 2026 research adds an important point. Organizations with successful AI initiatives invest up to 4 times more in data and analytics foundations than average performers. The build versus buy decision matters less than the quality of the data and infrastructure underneath it. You can buy a best in class product and underperform a simpler custom build if your data is not ready. Question 1. How differentiated is this use case? If competitors could use the same off the shelf product and solve the same problem in roughly the same way, document processing or customer service routing, invoice classification, differentiation is low. Low differentiation points strongly to buying. Higher differentiation, where your data, domain knowledge, or decision logic is genuinely unique, points to building. Question 2. Do you have proprietary data that creates a competitive advantage in this function? If you have a transaction history, customer behavior patterns, or domain specific labeled data that no vendor has access to, and if the training on that data would produce a meaningfully better outputs than a generic model, that is a strong argument for building. If your data is similar to what commercial vendors are already trained on, that argument weakens significantly. Question 3. Can your team maintain a custom system after deployment? AI systems are not static. They require monitoring, retraining as the underlying data drifts, and ongoing support. If your organization does not have that capability internally, a vendor managed solution reduces operational risk, even when building would be technically superior. You can always develop internal capability over time and migrate. Question 4. What's the 3-year total cost of ownership for each option? Not a year one cost, 3 years. For a vendor solution, that means license escalation, integration costs, which almost always run 2 to 4 times the initial estimate. Customization costs and the exit costs if you ever need to switch. For a custom build, it means development, integration, annual maintenance, and retraining at 15 to 25% of the initial build cost and the talent cost to keep the system performing. Build the numbers for both options across 3 years before committing to either. At Do Systems, We help businesses make this decision before it costs them a year of budget and effort to discover they chose wrong. If you are evaluating AI options for your business, start the conversation at dosystemsinc.com. Subscribe to our channel. Every week we cover the decisions that actually determine whether AI implementations succeed.